In this video, we will talk about some of the reasons why you may be feeling tired during the day and 3 powerful daily habits which will help you to get back your energy and stay focused on the things that really matter. Hi, I'm Divya Tampi. I'm a growth coach and I help people to perform at their peak levels. How many of you have experienced situations where you have planned a truckload of work for yourself for the entire week, but each day after you wake up and sit down to get your work done, you feel so de-energized that it is almost impossible to focus and get anything done? If you have been there, you're not alone. This is something that happens to a lot of us. And let's look at the 3 ways that will help you to overcome these issues. Most of you would agree that we as human beings are bombarded with a lot of information today in comparison to what used to be many years ago. In fact, research shows that by 2011, an average person was taking in 5 times the amount of information that an average person was taking in by 1986. And that number could have only increased multiple folds by 2022. While our brains are very capable of processing information, one of the things the brain has to do every time any information comes its way is to separate the significant information from the trivial one. Now imagine a time when you had to sit down and look through 1,000 unread emails and differentiate which were the ones that you had to keep and the ones that you didn't want to keep. Most of you would agree that that would be a very tiresome activity. This is because the brain cells called neurons require oxygen and glucose to work. And the more information they process, more of these resources they require. And that is the reason why you feel tired if you're consuming a lot of content. So every time you consume content on social media like LinkedIn, Facebook, Insta, or paying attention to the opinions on, let's say, Twitter or WhatsApp, or reading pieces of news, or watching television, a news channel, your brain is using up valuable resources to process that information. And you start experiencing information fatigue. The more content you consume, the more information fatigue you experience. And this information fatigue prevents you from spending energy on the much more important decisions of your life, like where to invest your money or what is the next task that you should be doing as far as your work project is concerned. So what can you do about this? So the first step for reducing the fatigue and the tiredness that you feel and get back to focusing on the things which are most important to you is to go on a low information diet. So practically, how do you go on a low information diet? I'm going to be telling you a few rules that you could set up for yourself and just follow them blindly so that you don't have to make small and big decisions all the time about what information to consume and what not to consume. One of the first rules that you want to keep in mind is not to use the phone for the first 60 minutes after waking up. Also, the second one is no phone, social media or emails during certain hours of the day when you're trying to get some deep work done. Third, don't check news more than once or twice a day. If you can avoid that also, that would be great. Fourth, pre-decide activities that you would like to do when you have leisure time which prevent you from scrolling your phone. For example, you may want to decide beforehand that you want to read a specific book or you want to listen to specific music or want to watch a specific movie so that you don't end up mindlessly going through the phone, which is what happens with a lot of us. And for those of you who have a lot of emails, you may want to limit the number of times that you check email to 3 to 4 times a day. The second thing that can really make you feel tired very quickly is the sense that you have very little control over what is happening around you. And trust me, this can happen more easily than you imagine. So, there are a lot of things that happen around us that we do not have much control over. For example, you don't have control over what the weather is going to be like. You do not have control over the kind of emergencies that could happen during the day or the mood of your colleague or your spouse or your children. So then how do we prevent ourselves from feeling powerless? Okay, one of the easiest ways to do this is to bring in some form of predictability into your life. And one of the fastest ways to do that is to set up a morning and an evening routine. Having a good morning routine can give you this much needed sense of control through the day. So a good morning routine could start this way. First, try and wake up at the same time every day. Whether it is 5 o'clock in the morning or 7:30, it doesn't matter, but try and wake up at the same time every day. Second, immediately after waking up, drink an entire glass of water to kickstart your body. After that, spend about 10 minutes into your daily hygiene activities like brushing your teeth or visiting the washroom. Fourth, schedule the next 15 minutes for some form of physical exercise. It could be just some spot jogging, it could be that you go for a run, it could be that you do some Surya Namaskar or some yoga. And the next 15 minutes could be spent doing some form of meditation. And the next 30 minutes could be spent reading a book or listening to an audiobook that you like to. You could replace the book with music as well. Now, this is a standard morning routine that you could follow. Now, you could choose to follow the routine that I suggested exactly the way it is, or you could customize it to your own requirement. So maybe you could choose to water the plants instead of meditating for 15 minutes, or maybe you could choose to listen to chants instead of reading a book. That's completely up to you. But following the same morning routine helps to energize you and gives you a sense of control over your day. Similarly, try and have a routine for the last 60 minutes of your day, that is 60 minutes before you go to bed. Now, it could include reading a book for 15-20 minutes, or chatting with your loved one for about half an hour, or writing a gratitude journal for about 10-15 minutes. The beauty about having a routine for nighttime is that every time you start the routine, it signals to your brain that it is time for your mind and body to relax and get ready for sleep. This way, the quality of your sleep also would be far better. The third reason why we may be feeling really low on energy or feeling tired is because of the kind of people that we surround ourselves with. Oftentimes, the kind of conversations that we have with people, the kind of energies that people around us hold has a huge impact on our own energies. So the third daily habit, which may not really sound like a daily habit, but more like a life habit, is to surround yourself with the right kind of people. According to Tim Ferriss, you are the average of the 5 people you associate most with. So do not underestimate the effects of your pessimistic, unambitious, or disorganized friends. If someone isn't making you stronger, they're making you weaker. This is so true. As humans, our energies are highly infectious. And the people that you spend time with at a personal level or at a professional level can either energize you or make you feel drained. Now, one of the questions that comes up very often whenever I mention this one is that what if I have a family member who is very negative? Now, I will be doing a video specifically on this topic, so watch out for that video. But in the meantime, let me review the 3 daily habits which can take you away from fatigue and low energy and make you feel energized and help you focus on the things that really need your attention. The first one that we spoke about is going on a low information diet. The second one is having a daily routine for your morning as well as for your evening. And the third one is surrounding yourself with the right kind of people. Thank you so much for watching. Do consider liking and subscribing this channel if you liked what you watched, and I'll be back with another video.